We are living in a golden age and a dark age, the old quotation on the best of times and worst of times, but with something as unessential and, let's face it, silly as superhero movies. These films cost hundreds of millions of dollars to produce, and hundreds of millions of dollars more to market, like a queen's ransom on top of a king's ransom. Hollywood recentered its gaze to the stuff of comic books and ultra-tight spandex. The most important people are not movie stars anymore, they're characters. Franchisable characters. Thor is a star. Chris Hemsworth stars in 12 Strong, In the Heart of the Sea, and Black Hat. January dumping ground movies that nobody sees or remembers. The comic book fans got everything they wanted. The movies, the attention, the respect, the lack of side-eye when wearing an Aquaman t-shirt in public. And yet, instead of being enthusiastic and thrilled with this unprecedented attention, some DC comic fans are furious, not at the movies, but at the critical reaction to these movies. The biggest offenders of these movies, I will call them tribalists from here on in, for reasons that I promise will become clear. Marvel tribalists were largely happy with the critical and financial successes of their films. DC's tribalist culture progressed differently. If you tell a Marvel fan that The Incredible Hulk was a mediocre or flat-out bad movie, they might grudgingly agree because it doesn't feel too harsh when said fans luxuriate in greater films in their chosen franchise. But if you tell DC's tribalists that Batman v Superman sucked, having few other options in their cinematic universe to fall back on as proof of its worth, they might react badly, calling you a Disney shill or a paid-off critic. This is one part tribalism and one part broad misunderstanding of how film criticism works. That is the focus of this miniseries. Not a simple deconstruction of why most DC Extended Universe movies are bad, but an examination of
the discourse
and how fan culture shouts down genuine criticism and the emergence of hyperconsumerism, as well as an exploration of how discussing popular films has changed due to the advent of the internet and intensification and mainstreaming of geek culture. This will, of course, need to happen side by side with a critique of these films, yes, but mainly as a means in which to show the bad counterarguments to sincere criticism. Fans of big blockbuster franchises all have their ne'er-do-wells and bad fans, of course, but DCEU tribalist culture is a wee bit different. Due to all of its films, except Wonder Woman, being critically panned and widely derided by everyone who is not one of the aforementioned tribalists, the culture is always on the defensive, and defensiveness breeds an uncompromising attitude. Because giving an inch when you are on the defensive feels like giving up everything. Goals for this miniseries. Number 1. Discuss societal attitudes that explain both admiration and defense of DCEU. Number 2. Explain what is and is not film criticism. Number 3. Discover the difference, if any, between fan culture and toxic fan culture. Number 4. Create an honest framework for discussing the authentic, observable problems with these films devoid of said toxicity. Not goals. Make you feel bad about a movie you like. That's it. Criticism is not designed for the explicit purpose of shaming admirers of a piece of media, but to help us question what we enjoy, the society that helped create it, and the subculture it, in turn, created. If you're watching this because you want to hear someone dunk on DCEU, well, it's more my intent to explain genuine problems without much rancor. If you're watching because you want to hear someone dunk on DCEU fans, you have definitely come to the wrong place. I'm here to help, not to shame. But if you are here because you suspect you are one of the aforementioned tribalists, the most hardcore of the hardcore fans who will not give an inch, bear in mind that this still isn't entirely about you, because it's bigger than you. Because it is the studio that has manipulated you into feeling this way. All will be explained in this very, very long miniseries. Let's begin.